like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in the cage, I'ma let out the wake up, get out the sheets. We came for one man, forget that peace. You take the west side, take on the east.
Amber, thank you so much for being here with us. So much to talk about: sports, politics, activism. But first, I want to start with the queers need help, right? Yeah. So you come out, you go through all of that kind of craziness, and then it's like, how do I dress? We need some fashion support. How do you do it?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. And it's so funny because that's how I started. Like, Amber's Closet was me doing videos in the closet and showing fashion. And then later on I realized, oh gosh, and I'm making videos to help people come out of the closet. It's a double entendre. It was an accident, but it worked, right? And I think my fashion sense came from my parents were very fashionable, but I went to Catholic school my whole life. So when I did get to wear normal clothes, which is only on the weekends, I had to be, fly. I had to really come with it. And then, I don't know, my sister and I just we're opposite, because she was Ashton's Closet first. And then, I don't know, I just fashion always became our thing a little bit.
I think every kind of queer person goes through that thing, especially lately when there's more kind of labels to stuff, and you're like, well, which one am I? I don't know which one to try. Do I do femme? Do I do STEM? What do I do? What was that transition like for you?
Okay, so that was the other thing. I think because I was I had just such a balance of feminine and masculine, and what I wanted to wear wasn't what people were wearing. And so I kind of was always the tomboy. I kind of was always the androgynous one. And then when I just came out and came into myself, I realized I wasn't like anybody else. So one night I was just I'm not a stud, I'm not a femme, I'm a STEM. And I just started saying it. And then that became a part of the thing that I did on the internet. I'm listen, I'm gonna show you how you can dress like this and dress like this. I can have my masculine and feminine qualities, and it's cool, right? How to put it together. And I think that's kind of why my videos, people started being well, what is this? Because when I would dress like that in the club at first in LA, when I would kind of just I'd have my pants sagged, but I'd wear a BB top, right? And it's blinging with my hat backwards. The studs wanted to fight me. And then the girls that I was interested in didn't know what to do with me. Right? It kind of had to grow, and people had to come into it to be oh, okay. Right? But back then I felt labels were necessary for me to be this is what I am. I'm different than what there is. And I need people to understand it. Nowadays, I don't really think that we need to label ourselves. So I'm not really huge on it. And that's why people are what are you? I'm listen, the internet tells me I'm a stud, then they tell me I'm not a stud, and then they tell me I'm this. I'm just Amber.
Because that was what I was going to ask you as well. I mean, do you think those labels are helpful, or do you think they start to become divisive in a way because everyone's well, I don't know what that is. Am I that? And when someone says, what kind of lesbian are you? I'm I don't know, the kind that sleeps with women. I don't know how to label it. Do you think they're helpful, or do you think they're becoming unhelpful?
I think I think they're helpful for certain people. It's where you are in your journey, right? For me, I really needed it at the time because I really needed to understand who I was. It helped me figure me out and kind of where I would fit within the community and everything, right? I do understand, I'm one of the people that protect the word stud, right? And I'm trying to give the history on it. And when I do that, people think I'm being divisive. But really, I'm just trying to protect the one thing that the specific Black, masculine, lesbian community has, right? And then it's not about being divisive. It's just a respect to the history, to our ancestors that literally it wasn't easy for them, right? So it's I'm just trying to protect. But no, I don't feel anybody's divisive. If they need, a label or any category to feel comfortable or find their space or find their community, I'm all about that.
Love that.
Yeah.
So when it comes to feedback that you get online, I mean, you were one of the early people to come out and kind of be okay, I can dress like this, I can do both. What's it been like? I mean, you must have had so many people thanking you for the help, really.
Yes, it's so awesome. First of all, I feel blessed all the time to still be relevant. Next month, it'll be 12 years since I started putting up videos, and I can't believe I'm still doing it. And people don't even understand how much it means to me and how much I appreciate when they come up, and they make me feel old, right? They're like, yo, I was watching you in middle school and everything. And I'm just like, yeah, we grew up together. And that's kind of what I say to people, and I hug them, and I just really appreciate them sharing like what my videos did for them, because it helps me remember why I'm still going, because it hasn't been an easy road, right? And so there's been so many times where I wanted to quit and not do videos anymore. And so those moments literally like just help me remember. And then I'm like, yeah, I got to keep going. So they're my motivation for sure.
Yeah, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with it when it becomes the negative? When, you know, when you get feedback that, you know, you don't enjoy or kind of feels personal? How do you pick yourself up and move on from that?
I really don't care. I think the thing is, I mean, it just comes with being on the internet. And sometimes every once in a while, they'll hit a little spot and hurt your feelings. But you're like, wait, I don't even know these people, right? And they're like, their job is to be a hater. And I say all the time that like, you have to remember that hurt people try to hurt people. So those people making those negative comments are just not happy people. And it's like, I can't sit here and go back and forth with someone that's really unhappy. I'm going to send them well wishes and be like, I hope you have a good day. And that's just it, right? And so I just try to keep it there. And then with the homophobic people, oh, those poor babies. First of all, everybody that's like so loud on the internet and being homophobic, they're the ones struggling with their identity like the most, right? Because why would you even care about somebody else's, like, why would you care about what I'm doing and who I'm sleeping with unless you're struggling with it inside, right? I don't know, that's how I feel. So then I really feel bad for those people. I'm just like, oh, baby, I hope you can come out one day and be happy too. You know? That's just, it is what it is.
When did you move? When and why did you move from the kind of fashion to the activism? Because you're so outspoken on so many different things. How did that shift come about?
It's always been me. Like, since I was young, I was always like student council and stuff like that. Like, I was a nerd jock. Like, I really was. I was really, like, I did like honors, like science and stuff like that. I was in the drama club, you know what I'm saying? And then also I was an athlete, right? So I kind of always had a balance. But since I was young, I realized when I saw my first unhoused person, I kept asking my mom questions and it didn't sit right with me. And then from that moment, kind of like being a little nerd with like our history and what was a political science class? Dang, what was that class called? Anyways, just understanding our government and stuff. I think since I was like 9 or 10, I wanted to be a politician. I'm like, oh, this is how I don't allow someone to be on the street, because I could not stop thinking about this lady. I would ask my mom to take me to the store where she was every week when I got my allowance, and I would get food for her. And since then, I always wanted to be a politician. Now, I thought that because I didn't go the route that I was supposed to after college and go to law school, because when we were younger, all the politicians were lawyers. So then I thought that I guess that future, I didn't really have a chance anymore. And then speaking up on YouTube, it just kind of came naturally a little bit here and there. And I didn't realize, but like sharing that and having other people like pay attention helped put me in rooms now where I'm able to still go that path if I want to, which is crazy. And so it just has always been a part of me. And it's just, I guess I feel a sense of responsibility as well if I have a platform to use my voice to inspire other people to know that their voice is important too.
Were you nervous when you started out, like speaking on issues for the LGBT community, the Black community? Were you nervous about kind of how that would be, or did it just take off and it felt natural?
I didn't care, because you know what? Once I pushed out of the closet, that was the hardest thing. Going to private school and being one of the only kids of color, I had to overcome a lot of, I don't care what anybody thinks anymore. And so that's why I think I was able to just like share what I felt like was necessary. But when I was saying earlier that sometimes I want to quit, it's because of me speaking up on these platforms, why I was demonetized, why my videos were taken down, and why it was a struggle to keep going, because it was a fight for our voices to be like, hey, me and my demographic or my community are worth being promoted to, or I should be able to still make money by sharing these very important topics. But it was a struggle. I feel like it's been hard because of the fact that I shared all those things, because I would have probably been like one of the other creators that were able to make millions if I didn't. But I had to stay true to myself and what I feel like is important for our community.
What was your coming out experience like with the kind of online attention as well?
Well, okay. I don't know. I came out so late. Like for me, I feel like I was already so grown. So I just kind of like fell into myself, and then I still feel like I kind of like grew up. I'm sharing all these videos and stuff, but I'm like literally I'm sharing them because I'm figuring it out. At that time, I'm learning myself and learning the community and everything. I still like felt like even years in, I was a baby gay. Still figuring it out. I mean, I was gay for a long time. I was dating women for a very long time, but on the low, you know.
And you've come so far. I mean, just seeing you with Stevie Wonder. I mean,
crazy. I'm still tripping.
How do you feel that you've gone from like making videos in your closet to coming out to doing the activism to now being in this position? Like, does it blow your mind?
All the time. Yeah. All the time. And sometimes I just don't even feel I'm not worthy. This year was great. And the last year was crazy. I received an award from the state legislature. And well, I have a few, but this one was different from our state senate in California and everything. And then I was there when they passed Rule 33. So now because I was present and stuff, I'm like in the history books, which I think is crazy. And so stuff like that happens, or like I have a mural on our LGBT center, and like I'm just like, I don't know. For me, I'm just like, wow, this is amazing, but like I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like I don't know. I don't think I deserve that. That's really cool. I'm like, I'm just gay, yo, like, and just talking. But it's awesome.
Do you feel like it's more important to talk about it in America now? We know there's kind of more than 400, I think it is, anti-LGBT.
Yeah, it was 500 plus as of last year. Yeah, it's crazy.
Do you feel like that makes it more important to kind of speak about it in this country?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just necessary. And I think that the opposing side has been working for a very long time, being very patient and trying to undo a lot of the things that we worked hard. And if we don't start to really pay attention and like vote down the ballot, and that means pay attention to our local representation, who is in charge of what our kids are learning and food for the children, just all the basic things, then we're gonna lose. We're gonna take major steps back and lose all the rights that we fought so hard for. So yeah, it's extremely important for us to pay attention to what's happening so that we have those protections for ourselves and our kids moving forward.
I want to talk a little bit about sports. First of all, you know, your basketball, but also you come from an unfairly talented family. Like, how? You have cousins,
yeah,
football, your dad, football,
yeah,
you doing basketball. I mean, how?
I know, it's like, I don't know. Everybody is the athletic gene. And say the Whittington. I don't know. Yeah, it's just they came out. Everybody came out just extremely amazing athletes, so smart. A lot of things. I guess I'm blessed. My dad's family is like, yeah, pretty awesome.
What was it like playing basketball in America? It's a bit of a dream thing. Like for us, when we look from England, you know, tiny little island, and then we look at like female sports out here, and it's incredible.
Oh yeah. Well, I think now, oh my gosh. Basketball back then as a woman wasn't popular what it is now. I'm so happy because I feel like that's what we always deserve, because I felt like when you go overseas, women's sports they're professional at 16, and then they have the support that I wish that we had here. And now seeing the college girls and the WNBA having more notoriety and support, I'm just like so happy for that. But yeah, it wasn't like that for us. I was getting called a lesbian just for being good at basketball, like at a very young age, when I didn't even know what that was. I'm like, wait, hold on, is that a diss? What's going on? What does that even mean?
How old were you?
Like 14, 15, like as young as 12, I would say.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think an insult? They were using it.
That's where they were using it as an insult, just because I was athletic or on the court, I think a little bit more masculine. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So yeah, they would call me that, but I wish I knew what that was. So then early on, I could be like, oh yeah, that makes sense actually. You know? Hold on.
Thank you.
Because I do have a girlfriend on the low. I mean, at 16, my first one. Yeah.
Do you still play now?
I loved basketball. For me, sports became a job really early on. I had a scholarship for high school. I went to a private school, and they recruited me for basketball and track. I was really good at that, and then I played soccer outside. So sophomore year, they were like, you have to pick a sport. You're going to college for one of them. What is it going to be? So it became a job pretty early, and I think that it kind of burnt out my love early. Like I went to D1 my first year, and the coach was so bad to me. Yeah, so the love burnt out, and then it became a job. And so really, I only pursued professional after college just because I had Michael Cooper, which was the head coach of the LA Sparks at the time, come to my game and hand me his card. So I'm like, who's gonna say no to that, right? So then I pursued it for a little while after that. But I think, I love basketball, and now I'm just a supporter. But I play sometimes at the gym when the guys talk mess, and I have to just show them up.
You've been successful at basically everything you've touched, right? And
no,
we won't talk about the things that have gone wrong. You are thinking of a career in politics, right? You're moving in that direction.
Yeah.
Is that something that really excites you? What do you think the future holds for you?
I can't, it's really hard. I have this conversation all the time, and I keep telling people, let's see what happens in November to see what the future looks like, right? I would love to. I've always wanted to be a politician, and I think once I started realizing that me speaking out on my platforms were putting me in the rooms and giving me the chances. I am on several boards right now. I'm a commissioner in West Hollywood, and so I'm able to now do the work in the rooms, and that's what makes me happy. So I get to do more than being loud and trying to educate people online. I get to actually do the work, which is awesome. And so from those rooms, I feel like I'm getting support from people saying, hey, I want to help you when, and especially me working with politicians, I help with their social media and things like that. But I don't know, we'll see. I mean, I would love to be Congresswoman Whittington. I'm not gonna lie, I would love it, absolutely. If I feel like if there's a chance to make a difference. I look at our system, and I look at some politicians that are supposed to be representative of certain communities that don't understand the communities they're supposed to represent, and I get frustrated. So I feel like we have a whole undoing, and we need to reinvent almost, or just not reinvent, but and we just need a lot of position changes, and we need a lot of different voices from the actual communities that in a lot of the political positions. We need to undo everybody. Everybody needs to lose their job, okay? And honestly, we need some new fresh faces, some new fresh minds and hearts. That's the thing. I think we completely lost that. Y'all are not from here, okay? It went from loving our families and middle class America, let's feed them whatever, to we're corporate America. And that's really what it is. And I think we lost our humanity. So I'm hoping that in the future we can get back to that.
I would love to see it. And I love to see all of your messaging. But I also love to see you have fun. When I watch on Instagram, you and your friends look like you have the best time. I'm like, I want to be friends with them.
Yeah.
Do you really have that much fun? Is it just hanging out all the time?
I think I'm fun, okay? I like to have fun. I'm kind of like the peer pressure, I'm not gonna lie, right? I'm the one bringing a tray of shots every 20 minutes, but I'm also the Virgo, I'm saying Dama, it's the dad mama, right? That will make you eat and make sure you drink and make sure you don't get hungover and make sure you get home safe. So yeah, I'm the turn-up. I like to be the turn-up queen. And that's the other thing. I can't run for a political position until it's okay for me to do that and still have parties. I think of our parties as freedom, and I think they're very important to have our safe spaces, even if it is just dancing and grinding on each other. So I need people to understand that. You know what I mean? Can I get a gay man to that?
The people around you, you always show each other so much support. You're always kind of bigging each other up all the time. What would your message be to young queer people about, being themselves, picking people who around them are also being themselves?
Yeah, yes, authenticity and being around that is so important. And I think one of the only reasons why I feel like I'm still able to go, because doing the work is not easy. It's really hard, and you can get in your mind and finding yourself, all that is not easy. So having other people pour in, you gotta be around people that know how to pour into you as you pour into them. And I think that that's the way that we have the strength in our community and be able to be ourselves and love ourselves fully and love other people. So yeah, and that's the humanity I was talking about. I think we just need to love on each other more.
And finally, here at Dinah, you've been here before on the stages, you're here now. What is so good about this festival? What keeps people coming back year after year after year?
I mean, it is like the lesbian party. I mean, I've been hearing about this before I even knew what lesbians were. Like, let's be honest. This has been like the staple, the kind of the prototype for all the other lesbian or queer parties all over the country. So I think that's what it is. It's just, this is like a landmark that people just keep coming back to. It's been a couple years since I've been, so I'm really excited to, I don't know, just be around community. That's the important part as well, is that Mariah has really made it so, you know, we can all get together in a safe space. We can turn up in the daytime at the pool and have music at night and party. So it's really awesome.
Thank you so much. Really enjoyed the chat.
Yeah. Let's go turn up, y'all.
Cold like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in the cage, I'ma let out the. Wake up, get out the sheets. We came